Hello, everybody. How are you doing? Stanley, your Conquer Peace 10, and I just want to talk about, record this very short message to young people out there who are listening to me right now. I want to talk about assets versus liabilities, okay, and the pressures that you may face, as a young person out there. All right, in today's world, we live in a world right now that works with instant gratification, you know, and one of the things that I've noticed is that for young people who are between the age of 20s and 30s and their 40s, little is actually being taught to them about building assets, okay, and why they need to build your assets now that they are young. Many of us are working, we're working for this company, we're getting salary, and the salary simply goes to buying new clothes, buying new shoes, and everything, giving it out to ladies and taking ladies on, we just want the beautiful life, all right? But then every time we hear about the story of Dangote, we grind, and we want to be like him. We hear the stories of the Femi Otedolas, and we admire them and want to be like them. We hear the stories of Mike Adenugas, and we just want to be like them. But sometimes we do not take the time to think of what really did these guys do to get them to the point where several years after, their business empires have become something monstrous, have become like, I mean, whether they go to work or not, billions and billions are coming to their account. Their children have become very proud of them. I mean, they are bearing their name. Some of their daughters now even get married and refuse to remove the last name. Why? Because they are so proud of what their fathers have accomplished, and I felt that this is a time that we begin to educate our young people out there. All right. If you, Robert Kiyosaki defined an asset as something that puts money into your pocket, and a liability as something that removes money out of your pocket. One of the things that you have to understand is that time, okay, time is very limited. Time is a very limited asset. Time is a very limited asset, and every year that you celebrate your birthday, you've got to realize that every year moves you closer and closer and closer to a time when this energy that you enjoy as somebody who is just 30 something now, this energy that you enjoy as somebody who is just 40 something now, you may not be able to enjoy it. You see that in the next few years. So if you don't start planning your finances now, and I don't mean saving money and all that, if you don't start planning on how to build your assets, okay, some of us tell us about, well, I'm working, I don't really need to be an entrepreneur. No, you don't need to be an entrepreneur, but you must start building what we call residual income. You must start building what we call multiple streams of income. You must start doing something about your asset. Okay, we have a lot of young people right now who talk about emotional outbursts, ladies leaving them and everything. And I tell them, listen, no matter how much a lady is telling you, I love you, I'm going to do this and that, or no matter how much you are telling the lady that you love him and you love her, you're going to do this and that, without the element of finance, without you being able to, there comes a time in your life when you've got to now be able to take care of the lady. There comes a time in your life when you've got to be able to think forward. You've got to be able to build a family. Okay? And if you've wasted your life on chasing shadows, if you've wasted your life, we see young people who go out there and they are working, okay? Let's say they're earning 100,000, and then in a month, the guy is spending 70 something thousand on just dressing alone. 70 something thousand goes to dressing. He wants to buy the latest shoes. He wants to wear the latest clothes. He want to get the latest phones. Okay. And one of the things that people don't understand is that um, if this thing doesn't add to your income, is a liability. Is a liability, no matter what you want. And what normally happens is, after a while, those things are where the latest phones and the latest this and the latest that would probably in the next 2, 3, 4 months becomes outdated. I mean, think about it. Was there not time when Nokia 3310 was the latest phone? There was a time it was. This Nokia 3310 that I'm sure if they give it to you right now, you will probably not take it. Of course, except the new one that they brought off, okay, which is quite expensive now. But Imagine when Nokia 3310 was about 50 something thousand. There was a time in this country that phone was sold for 50 something thousand. And people, young guys, in their 20s, in their 30s, and their 40s, who are working in banks, who are working in this company, who just came out of school, just got this job and everything, okay, had to take almost half of their salary to get this Nokia 3310. It was the symbol of prosperity. It was the symbol of affluence at that time. Today, where is Nokia 3310? Where is Nokia 3310? It has become an outdated mobile phone. It is still a phone, all right. If you had it today, you can still make and receive calls. But I can bet you, if you are in a public gathering and you pull out Nokia 3310, everybody's going to look at you very strange. Like, I mean, where is this guy coming from? So what happened? Imagine the guy who spent all his life savings, took money from his salary, which is supposed to yield another income. What people don't understand is that when you receive salary, your salary is like a seed. Remember, this is the pay that the company or organization or whatever it is that you are working for is paying you for the time equity, the sweat equity that you put in. The worst thing you can do with your salary is to burn it on liabilities. That's the worst thing you can do with your salary. The salary lands and the only thing you're thinking of is a brand new shoe. The salary lands and the only thing you're thinking of is a brand new jacket. Okay? It doesn't matter where you're working. Your salary is supposed to be like a seed that is supposed to produce another income. The really rich, okay, spend money on liabilities that come from income generated from the asset of the asset. Now let me explain. The really wealthy build assets. And from the income that comes from that asset, they build another asset. And then from the income that comes from that asset, they can now spend on maybe liability. So sometimes when you see the Mike Adenugas and these are they're riding in Lamborghinis and everything, you thought that the monies, I mean, as Dangote is just selling a truckload of cement now, he just carried the money to burn on a Lamborghini. No. Sometimes these are asset of the asset. You see that? These are assets of the asset. But for them to get to that point, they had what we call a delayed gratification. There's a delayed gratification. You've got to understand, life is for living. There's no competition. You are not trying to impress anybody. The lady who is not looking at you now because you are building your asset, the lady who is not looking at you now because you are gaining knowledge, you are attending seminars, okay, you are learning about wealth building, you are developing yourself in digital marketing, you are developing yourself with additional skills. The lady who is not looking at you now will look at you few years to come. Understand it. No lady out there, if a lady was your problem, no lady out there wants to get entangled with a man who is not moving forward. Listen, I'm a minister, I can tell you. No lady out there who wants to do that. They don't want to do that. They can tell you all kinds of things. You know, you are the beautiful thing in my this and that and that. If you are not able to carry out there's what we call the manly responsibility. A time comes when you have to carry out that manly responsibility. You see that? And no matter how much a lady makes, a time comes when she has to, subject to you and look up to you to carry out that responsibility. If you are not able to carry it out, and you've not built an asset, or you are carrying it out with what is supposed to be your seed that you're supposed to invest, you didn't carry out the delayed gratification. You thought it was by wearing jackets and wearing nice shoes and everything. And the 8 times that you have, when you had the energy, you didn't use it. You're going to come back years later to to regret. And that's what is happening. So start thinking about your assets. Start thinking about how to build up an asset. Start thinking about what you can do today to build up um yourself. You see that? To build up yourself. Invest in knowledge. Lots of our young people don't read. Every time I get to the Ojota Bridge, if you are in Lagos and you're conversant with Ojota, when you get to the under bridge, you see a lot of books that you can buy. Some of them are as much as 200 naira, 300 naira, 600 naira. You understand what I'm saying? That, and these are amazing books, self-development books written on income, on development, on business, and everything. And many people pass that area and they don't invest. 600 naira that can earn you millions. They don't invest. In fact, sometimes I used to ask myself, I say, if those people who sell those books will even take a few minutes to read the book